Okay, so now we're gonna start changing some of the configurations in the materials and the lighting system, etc., etc. So if we go to the material sets and we go to the mushroom, we can actually change some presets that are very useful for us to start with. I'm thinking of a matte finish for the mushrooms, and immediately it changes, doesn't have that shiny attitude, and we can actually change the color, some kind of more dirt kind of a material, a lot of saturation, for example. We're going to be able to also go to the other material we created, called name Floor X, and create another preset, such as just to see the difference. So we can have a glossy plastic and replace and change the color to a white kind of material with a little bit of color. If we have that and we span the perspective, now we can generate a render. And this is like the image they give us. Now the floor has these reflections. It's a little bit more white, bright color, and this is totally matte, so the reflections are not non-existent here. So now what we're going to do is actually insert what is called a lighting system into the scene. So if we actually go to indirect lighting with inventory, and we create here, we press create in physical sun and sky, immediately we close this, we press 4, this shows up, this little object here has like indication of angle and an orientation of the sun. Basically here it has all these qualities and all this information that we should change now. Basically it's going to insert a sky, it's going to inject light into the scene, and it's also going to give nice reflections to the different objects that we have. So the things that we need to know, that we have to change the multiplier. If we reduce it, it will be darker, the scene, and if we leave it like that, it's going to be like lighter or incremented depending on what we need. We can actually change the angle, of course, of the sun, but a very important thing, let's render this and see how it's actually looking by itself. So yeah, as you can see, if we take out this little window away, you see that the result is much more realistic. Of course, we need to make sure that certain things do not show us the look, but you start seeing the difference quite abruptly. So in that sense, we can also go to the materials, to the floor, and go to the plastic, as you remember, and kind of change the glossiness of it, because it was quite too glossy, to 0.8, and probably want to increase the samples within it to 40. If we go now to the window and we create a little box here and we render the little box, we probably see the difference between having a glossiness that has a very exact line definition versus these other options going to be quite diffuse, less accurate, which could meet better to more matte type of material. Yes, as you can see. Another thing we might want to do is click on the sun material, sun object, and go to its physical sun qualities and change the shadow softness once again increase the samples to 40 approximately, or to 20. So now if we actually do a small window for the shades, we'll see that actually they're less harsh, less linear, more diffuse as well. And we need to have a more quality in the gradient shadows. As you can see, there's a big difference from this line to this other line. So now we can actually, for example, just make sure that the angle is the one we want. Take the window out again, and probably we want to render options, test resolution, render settings, and render it. Yes, and this is the final render. Of course, we can start. We probably want to give more difference between the bottom and the top. Start giving like a nicer sky, of course, and different bump criteria for the floor. But I think it's a very clean way. Rendering is more than